At present, the strongest link we have to the final days is the power of Dynamis and the Entelekis, which can control it. Yet most scholars are only vaguely aware of these terms, let alone study them in any depth, except for Hermes, it seems. Thus I am inclined to stay our current course and learn all we can about the Chief Overseer and his familiar. And on that subject, was there aught else of note you can tell me about Medion, aside from her unorthodox method of communication? I rather wish you had mentioned that earlier. In any event, would you care to elaborate? So these siblings of hers now travel the great expanse in search of deeper meaning. Thank you. Though the mystery at hand remains unresolved, I feel you've touched upon a vital clue, one we should keep in mind as we continue. Next, I propose we take ourselves to Peripetia Crystalline, not far from here. Just follow the path to the west. Friends. They're friends. This tower and the one further along are both part of Peripetia Crystalline, the facility where they archive all of Elpis's observational and testing records. Despite how they appear from the outside, the interior is actually a vast area of magically interconnected spaces, which, while fascinating, is not the reason we are here, is it? I shall cut my architectural lessons short and see what those two archivists have to share. If you could find someone to speak with over at the other tower, I shall join you there anon. How odd that I should suggest this approach without a second thought. You've come from a time and place that is dramatically different, yet here we are working side by side, or apart as the situation demands, with barely a word of explanation required. No matter the centuries which separate us, we are of the same star. We share a connection, and I hope that together we might find the answers you seek. You have questions for me? Certainly. Just a moment while I conclude my current appointment. Indeed. So if you could provide a comprehensive log of those behaviors, we should then have sufficient data for our official records. Now, what was it you wished to speak with me about? The Chief Overseer's personal research project, and by that I assume you mean Medion? Such undocumented studies are difficult to track. After all, hardly a day goes past without seeing a researcher trailed by one creation or another. I'm afraid I cannot tell you exactly when Medion appeared, only that she now spends much of her time at Chief Hermes' side. Although, I do recall an interesting tale my dearest Galeen shared with me. Ah, Galeen is my partner and a fellow researcher here in Elpis. She was returning late one night when she caught sight of Chief Hermes sending Medion heavensward, a host of them. For several days she would speak of that scene with wonder, describing it as one of the most beautiful spectacles she had ever witnessed. That sounds like a story I should like to hear. Mistress Vanna, I thought you had already returned to the surface. Permit me to thank you again for your invaluable contribution to our concept placement proposal. Pray, do not mention it. As you say, my original plan was to leave after that task, but I have since become engrossed with Chief Hermes' research. Would you favor me with a retelling of this sight which so delighted you, Galeen? Of course, or you could hear it from her lips directly, if you prefer. At present, she should be observing a subject at Metabasios Thalassae. She does enjoy her time there, watching the sea creatures hunt and play, gazing upon the salty waters of the world's oceans, recreated in such sublime detail. I imagine you must find similar joy in indulging your boundless curiosity, Mistress Vanna. Even though such pursuits must continually and regretfully delay your return to the star. Indeed they do. 'Tis a rest well deserved and long overdue, I should think. How greatly have we prospered for the wisdom you accumulated during your travels as Azam. And what would Elpis be without your earlier academic work? The theories you developed served as the basis of many techniques still in use today. Man is a creature of contemplation, but none embody that nature with as much endearing passion as you. Aye, I dare say there is not a soul alive more worthy of a return. I shall rejoice the day you depart on your final journey. I will be honored. We shall take this opportunity to meet with Galeen in person. And allow me to reconfigure the door to the archives here. It will take you up to the Skyway and spare you the need to avoid hostile concepts on the ground. That would be most helpful, thank you. The other archivist said not what we hadn't already heard, but the story of Galeen sounds promising. That door leads into Thalasi, but perhaps we can trouble this person for assistance with finding Galeen. Mistress Vidal, I was not told to expect. We would have prepared an official welcome. Please, there is no need for fanfare. I only wish to speak with Galeen if that might be arranged. Yes, Galeen, of course. I will inform her immediately. Ah, but she may be engaged in a testing phase. You could be in for something of a wait. Should I let her know your business is urgent? That won't be necessary. This lovely view will keep us occupied until she is ready to receive us. That sounds like an exposition cutscene.
A delightful breeze and a breathtaking view. What is it like in the future? Is the world still a beautiful place? I swear I could hear the glimmer in your eyes and the adoration in your voice. While we wait, will you not tell me about your adventures? Well, not the portentous events which led you here, but the simple delights all your own. By learning about the future world, I may gain insight into future me's plans. But more than that, I have an interest simply as a fellow traveler. Short of going somewhere oneself, there's naught more stirring than hearing another's account.
Oh, that was Orshifont. I was talking about Orshifont.
Incredible. Would that I could have been there to see it. Yours is a harsh and unforgiving world. Yet in spite of this, your brethren hold fast to their virtue. To know that the light of mankind's potential still shines, even in that faraway place, it gives me heart. Thank you for regaling me with your tales. I will treasure every word. As you know, I was once a scholar. And among other things, I sought to understand the workings of the world. What exactly is ether? How formed the laws of nature? whence sprung mankind. Riddles and mysteries beyond counting. Over the years, I have managed to find answers to some few of them. Yet rather than attain a sense of mastery, the more I understood, the more I came to hold the world and its miracles in awe. We too are miracles, each and every one of us, born of the warm breath of life that traverses the heavens, swirling through eternity. When I fully grasped the improbability of our existence, nothing felt impossible anymore. If it could be imagined, it could be done. A passion swelled within me, an epiphany dispelling all preconceptions of what was natural and true, and a presence without. Immense, yet intimate. Fate, perhaps, holding us in its tender embrace. As reassuring as it was intimidating, how keenly aware I became of creation's fragility, built as it is upon precarious happenstance. I was overcome with an irrepressible urge to know the world more intimately, to hear its voice, feel its breath. I ventured forth on a journey that very day, so very long ago now. Freed from presumption and prejudice, I saw the world through a newborn's eyes. Everything fresh and new, and so beautiful. Lands that stretched on forever. Skies one could drown in. The heartbeat of nature, silent yet strong. And amidst it all a people. Beacons of light and life. Laughter that warmed my heart like naught else before. They are my meaning, and my purpose, my love. And so long as they need help, I cannot return to the star. Perhaps my future self is still waiting for it. The moment she can let go and walk unto the end. Safe in the knowledge that man will find his own way. You, who are our future, tell me this, and tell me true. Has your journey been good? Has it been worthwhile?
Pray forgive my lateness. My observation subject was rather irritable, and it took a while to settle it down.
No need to apologize. Your work takes precedence. Besides, we had a pleasant conversation in the meantime.
You're too kind. Now then, I'm told you wished to ask me some questions.
Indeed. I've an interest in one of Hermes' creations. Meteon. You witnessed a host of them take flight, yes?
Oh, that! Yes, I did. 'Twas in the dark of the morn. I'd left the Thalassai after nocturnal observation. As I walked along, I spied a bright light climbing high into the southeastern skies. Then, in an instant, it was gone. Like a shooting star, only rising rather than falling. But then another shot up, then another, and another. Intrigued, I made my way to the edge to investigate. And who should I spy on an isle to the south but Hermes and Meteon, the Metea, rather. There were lots of them, and I realized they must be the shooting stars that I'd seen.
A dazzling spectacle indeed. Have you spoken with Hermes about this?
Oh, yes. The site left such an impression on me that I approached him about his mystery project the very next day. Alas, he said that he couldn't reveal anything just yet, that he needed to conduct further tests. It shouldn't be long now, though. He often returns to that isle, and I have a feeling he's nearing a breakthrough.
Splendid. We are likewise eager for the details. Well, that is all we wish to ask. Thank you for taking the time to indulge our curiosity.
You're very welcome. It's always a pleasure to speak with other inquisitive souls. Oh, and will you be descending now? If so, I shall link the doors for you.
Please.
So another piece of the puzzle falls into place. From what we've learned thus far, I think we can safely conclude that Hermes hasn't been revealing the details of his research to others, which suggests that either someone will appropriate his discoveries and make use of them, or that Hermes himself will have a hand in causing the final days. Since we have no reason yet to suspect the former, we should consider the latter the more likely possibility. Proceeding under the assumption, our next step should be to divine why, or even if, he might desire such a terrible fate for our star. I should like to visit the site from which Hermes sent forth the media. If we are fortunate, we might find some hint of what drives this research of his. Galen said she spotted them in the southeast, rising from an isle she could see from the edge. If we stand at that very same vantage point, it should not prove too difficult to locate the isle in question. Let's take a look, shall we? Well, now, if I were conducting some mystery research, where would I go? Ah, what about that one? Have you the means to fly? 'Tis quite a distance away. No, but you could let me ride your dog. Inconvenient, but hardly an insurmountable problem. To meet Argos. My friend, would you mind creating a double to carry Mana here over to that island? Stubborn creature, there is no place on this great star we have not together traveled, and still he remains obstinate in the presence of strangers. Argos has rather exacting standards, I'm afraid. What? You've ridden him before? Ah, your before, meaning my after. Not at all confusing, that. Interesting. 'Tis certainly not unthinkable. But speaking of the here and now, a quick solution is for us to face off in a sparring match. Demonstrate to him that you are capable of holding your own against me in battle, and you should convince Argos that you are worthy of his back. And besides, I might even teach you a thing or two in the bargain. You seem doubtful, but useful lesson or not, it will certainly be a moment to remember, a memory of the distant past to cherish. What say you, traveler out of time? I admire your confidence. Clear your mind and prepare your weapons. I will await you at the clearing over yonder. The identity is identical to the one you encounter in Mare Lematorum, except this Argos is pointedly ignoring you. Shall we begin? Be warned, I'll not go easy on you.
Let neither side hold back. My blade sings!
Ooh.
My blade sings! Impressive. I shall have to try something different. No quarter! Have a taste! I see you won't be easily overcome, but neither will I. Prepare yourself! Very well. Let us move to the final trial. Make your change, shed your burdens, and show me your strength of will! You still stand. The people of your time are more resilient than I had dared hope. I have seen enough.
That was kind of nice.
'Twas my intent to finish it, but clearly I underestimated you. One would think I never learn. I made the same mistake with Azem when we first sparred. Despite being less than half my age, her strength was astounding. As is yours. 'Tis plain you have weathered considerable hardship. Far more even than your tales would suggest. It seems we have both learned much on our journeys. Well now, I dare say he has warmed to you. A boon to be sure. He never forgets his favorites, and is ever eager to come to their aid.
Argos will soon have us standing on the very spot where Medii made their departure into the night sky. With luck, we will learn something of Hermes' intentions. My hope is that we find no connection, no festering wish for oblivion. Then we might have Hermes and his considerable expertise working for us rather than against us. Let us move over to the edge before mounting, shall we? That will allow Argos to catch the currents rising up from below and give us a smooth ride over to the Isle. Argos motions to his back with his muzzle. You've been given the go-ahead to hop on. Climb onto Argos' back and we can be off. You know, I honestly cannot remember the last time he carried anyone but me. Isn't this pleasant? Argos certainly seems to think so.
Quite a small place, lacking even the most basic equipment. The present may yield no clues, but we may yet try perusing the past. Have you done this before? So you cannot control the power freely. Worry not. I shall assist you. Come and stand before me. There are two ways to see the past. The first entails peering through the walls of the soul in the moment a subject is recalling a memory. The second requires no subject, and is instead a process of piecing together an event from ripples left in the ambient ether. As memories are etched upon the ether of the soul, so too are they etched upon the ether of the world. In this way can history be preserved. Such memories are given to fading, however, and can prove challenging to visit. But come, let us try. Close your eyes.
All units fully functional and proceeding on course towards their respective stars. Estimated time to completion of survey is 108 cycles. End of status report. Severing connection with shared consciousness. Did you hear that, Hermes? All is well.
Yes. Good tidings at long last. Every step of the way, I've been reminded how little we understand creation. How the universe defies imagination.
But soon we won't need to speculate. We'll know the answers. What others live for.
Indeed. And we'll owe it all to you and your sisters.
I wonder what answers we will get.
Whatever intelligent beings that exist out there are bound to be vastly different from us. Diverse in form and culture. Possessed of unique ways of thinking. Their conception of life and its purpose will be no exception. Completely and utterly unlike ours.
Utterly unlike. How?
I have no idea. Yet whatever answers we receive, I will not dismiss them out of hand. No. I will think earnestly on them all, and I will share them with our people, that together we may contemplate our own existence. Perhaps then our star will become a better place. Not only for man, but for all life. Meteion, as though I gave you wings to soar the heavens, I did not teach you how to walk the earth. So loath was I to bind another living being. In the course of your long journey, you will learn from those you meet, learn to walk and run and so much more. And when you return, older and wiser, we will have a celebration to mark your homecoming and coming of age both.
Will there be apples? Covered in syrup?
And how are you supposed to eat them? Rather than food, perhaps a flower. Yes. Upon your return, I will gift you a beautiful flower.
So, what is your opinion? I understand. He is a gentle soul, and well-intentioned. Yet it does not take ill intent to beget ill. We must consider the possibility that something may have gone awry. Perhaps it was oversight, or simply an accident. In light of this, I propose that we reveal your tale to Hermes himself. If he does not wish for the final days, as we believe, he may well join us in pursuing a solution. Then it is settled. Let us seek out our friend with all swiftness.
This sounds like a great idea. A great idea. Let's give Hermes the idea, the final days. I love it.
'Twould not do to let such a pure soul be blackened by tragedy.
Let's tell Hermes all about this. He'd love to hear it. I'm sure nothing would go wrong. I'm sure it's a brilliant idea. There are a number of places where Hermes might be in Elpis. But we could do worse than to look in Cutisis Hyperborea, the largest facility. It stands in Ethos Boreas, the Northern Isle. I wonder, Mana, for an institution which claims to studiously research every species destined for release into the world, did you not question how they find room for them all on so few islands? The answer lies within Cutisis itself. I touched upon the practice before, back at the archives, where a vast area is stitched together out of multiple conceptual spaces. The same holds true for the interior of this facility and its magically constructed environs. 'Tis there within those sprawling habitats that the chief overseer and most of Alpus's observers conduct the bulk of their work. Come, the simplest route is via the teleporter north of Poitin Oikos. Ah, good, the teleporter acknowledged you as my guest. You should now have the authority to use it as you wish. As for the way to Cutisis Hyperborea, we follow this path and turn left at the crossroads. Here we are, the grandest research facility in Elpis. We should head inside and ask after Hermes' whereabouts. Hermes is at another facility, as we have just discovered. Yay, they're back. I missed Hythlodaeus, who's skyrocketing in the charts as a favorite character. Furthermore, we've confirmed that his studies into Dynamis, as well as his creation of Medion, were entirely private pursuits. No one else we spoke with appeared to possess the chief's depth of knowledge on the subject, and neither did we hear any tales of stolen research. Which means that if Hermes himself harbors no desire to bring down an apocalypse, then he might be recruited to help prevent one. Or so saith the illustrious Emmett Salk. According to your story, the 14 divined the connection between the celestial currents and the final days, but were never able to pinpoint the root cause of the calamity. With our people's greatest minds, not to mention Hythlodaeus' sharp eyes, committed to the pursuit of a solution, such an outcome seems inconceivable. The only possible explanation is if the nature of the catalyst was so inexplicable that even we failed to perceive it. And what better fits that description than the invisible, intangible Dynamis? Which in turn leads us to our next question. How did Hermes, in his role as Fandaniel, not recognize the subject of his own research? We must assume that he either knew and was unable to help, or that he was otherwise prevented from identifying the cause in the first place. At this juncture, all we can do is speculate. To be clear, the Convocation does not tolerate acts of deception or malice. We are practiced at perceiving truth, and would have known had Fandaniel lied to us. Hermes has no conscious wish for the world to end, of that I am certain. It seems there is more to the tale after all. We conducted an investigation of our own, you see. How comforting. We seem to have reached the exact same conclusion. I see no reason to delay further. 'Tis time we brought Hermes into the fold, as it were. Save your thanks. I did not say I believed your ridiculous story, but as Emmett Selk, I have a duty to examine any potential threat to our existence, no matter how ludicrous or personally offensive I may find it. How lovely. Our merry duo has become a quartet. Past disagreements are no reason to reject collaboration in the here and now. I commend Emmett Selk for his practicality. Do not approach me, do not speak to me, and do not dare presume to treat me as a friend. I am merely carrying out my duty. I think the time for leisurely exploration is past. If I might have a moment to adjust my vision. There he is. On the next isle over, Medion is with him. Hermes appears to be in the midst of an observational study, but I suggest we hurry over before they venture elsewhere. Head straight down the path. We can teleport to Misopsis Uros from the device at the bottom of the slope. What, do you expect me to praise you and your progress? On the contrary, I'm simply surprised you made it this far. Then again, even with you slowing her down, there is no denying that Venat is an accomplished researcher. Her wealth of wisdom and experience is unmatched, and her achievements in creation magics in any field, frankly, are nothing short of extraordinary. Though the singular brilliance which sets her apart can make her motives somewhat impenetrable at times. As her student and successor puts it, she is a force of nature, at once so close, and at the same time so very distant. Misopos Euros is interesting in that it is the only region in Elpis which lacks a researcher hub. This is largely due to the nature of its observation sites, within which they let the loose creatures anticipated to be unruly and dangerous. I have also heard tell that the area is kept deliberately sparse in the event that, well, let's just say that no one should live near the teleporter, which provides access to a certain facility. They are close by, within the Hungering Gardens. That would be it, the circular enclosure you see just up ahead. Well then, madam, make yourself useful and bring Hermes out here to us. If I were to go, he would assume I was only there to press him on the Fandaniel matter. Of all of us present, you stand the best chance at convincing him to put aside his work for the moment. But the creations in there are not exactly... Then again, perhaps Mana can handle them. She did survive a bout with Venat, after all. Off you go to find Hermes, but do be prepared to come to blows with the garden's denizens. Okay. Someone needs to go into the Hungering Gardens and speak with Hermes, and it seems Emmett Selk has nominated you for the task. Okay. Oh, good. Purple Cassie. I love Purple Cassie. Man, where is he? Aha! Mana, where did you come from? Mana, what are you doing here? I thought you were keeping Hythlodaeus and Emmett Silk company. An important matter, and unrelated to my decision on Fandaniel, you say? Then yes, I will come, as soon as my work here is finished. It will not be long, I promise, but you should really wait outside the garden with the others. This is not the place for idle exploration. You needn't be concerned for our safety. Mediana and I are protected by a ward which conceals our presence from the creatures. Okay, bye. I was prepared to swoop in if need be, but 'tis clear you have faced your fair share of monstrous opponents. What is that ghastly odor? You spoke with Hermes, then? And were briefly entangled with the denizens of the Hungering Gardens as well, I see, or should I say smell? I cannot speak for certain Convocation members, but I, for one, am impressed with your fortitude. Well done indeed. Now that you've convinced Hermes to confer with us, let us pray that things will soon take a turn for the better. For as fascinating as it would be to meet the Emmett Silk who would recreate Amarat in the depths of the ocean, I think it's best for all concerned if such tragic events never came to pass. Be it in our future or your past, assuming yours is not told or truly written in stone, naive hope that is. Why am I always so forward-thinking? I simply wish to enjoy all that life has to offer. Hermes said he would not be long. Yes, then we shall wait here until he emerges.
My apologies for keeping you waiting. I understand there is a matter you wish to discuss.
Aye. A matter of the utmost gravity. If one can suspend disbelief. Go on then. Tell him what you told us. Who you are and why you came.
The final days.
The phenomena observed during these star-encompassing calamities is likely the product of a dynamis reaction, and none is more versed in the applications of this energy than you, Hermes. I must stress that we do not believe you would desire such destruction. We come not to lodge accusations, but to beg your wisdom. And so, distressing though the exercise may be, I ask that you share with us your opinion on the matter, on the assumption that our visitor's tale is true.
Even you, Vana. As you say, the phenomena observed in the two calamities may both be attributed to dynamis. Of note is the difference in its effect. In the first final days, it warped creation magics. In the second, it warped the people themselves. The key variable, I suspect, is the etheric density of the men of each age. As you know, ether, in essence, negates dynamis. Harboring high concentrations of ether, we ancients cannot readily manipulate dynamis, nor be manipulated by it. Therefore, rather than ourselves, the calamity affected our magics. In contrast, having been sundered, the people of the future are composed of but a fraction of our ether. Thus are they susceptible to the influence of dynamis and its transformative potential. But that would explain only the mechanism, not the cause. Though perhaps...
What is it? Even should it be a hypothesis, we would hear it.
Dynamis is an energy put in motion by feelings. Feelings for which there must first exist a source. A source to which the victims must be attuned. One that harbors the self-same negative emotions. Elsewise, it could not be the agent of such extreme change.
So it wasn't the stagnation of the celestial currents. Someone, or something, is instigating the star's demise.
So, we've a villain on our hands after all. Any idea who or what it could be?
The celestial currents comprise the outermost layer of the star's ether, encasing it like a protective sphere. According to your tale, it was where the currents were weakest that the phenomena first manifested. If the inciting factor came from without Aetheris, then its effects would first be seen in those locations.
Greetings. Can you hear me? Do not be alarmed. I mean you no harm. I wish only to hear your words, share your feelings, know your thoughts. May we please be friends?
Meteion. What is it?
Executing scheduled task, suspending individual self and connecting to shared consciousness. Connection established. Commencing status report.
It hurts, it hurts! It hurts!
So hot, so cold, so sad. I don't understand. Make it stop. Please, make it stop.
Steady, Meteion. Steady.
So scared, so lonely. The pain, it's too much. Why? Why do we? They hurt. Hate. This is wrong. All wrong.
She's gone? But how?
She has altered her etheric density in order to blend in with her surroundings, an ability for avoiding confrontation.
Most effective. Frustratingly so. I can't see her either. Not even a trace.
Stay away. Please. This is wrong. My mistake. So please.
Are you all right? In your mind? No. We only heard her speak the instant before she vanished.
Of course. When communicating without words, Meteion also employs dynamis. That will explain why you were able to hear her, when we could not.
Then you are our best chance of finding her. Follow her voice and try to track her down.
Okay.
Hindered though we may be, let us split up and search as well.
So it's aliens. Damn if it ain't aliens. You calm your mind, use senses, questing for any hint of Meteion's presence. It seeps into my mind, our voices, recording. No, Hermes mustn't hear them. I have to run, to hide. Meteion's voice grows distant as the source seems to flee down the slope. and salutations. Hi. Commencing report. Oh no, we can't tell them that. We must run far away. Please, don't follow me. Radion's anguished voice fades as he sends her climbing to the top of the ridge. I am once again in a state of, I don't know what to feel about this plot. I like these characters a lot, but that's the problem. The idea that these characters can be saved by my going back in time is a little frustrating because it makes the weight of the story diminish. And I don't like that. I just don't. I think that's kind of how I've been feeling about Endwalker in general. It feels like the weight of a lot of things keeps diminishing. And, you know, this might have been a problem that was being created before Endwalker, but the further I get into Endwalker, the less I feel like the entire rest of the game mattered. Like, who cares about the bloody banquet in Ul'dah? Because we're just gonna leave on the moon. Who cares about the Dragonsong War? Because everything we know is a lie. Who cares about liberating Alamigo and Doma? Because we're just gonna escape on the moon anyway. Hi, Emmett. Ugh, this is an exercise in futility. You have to be the one to find her, Mana. Follow her voice. And speaking of Emmett, who cares about Emmett? Because maybe we'll just save him right here, right now. Why not? I guess I kind of feel like everything I love about the story of this game is being destroyed by Endwalker. I think that's what I'm feeling right now, which is not a fun feeling to have, I think. I'm almost reaching a point where I don't know if it's even worthwhile to publish my video reaction. I don't know how other people are going to feel about Endwalker because I'm intentionally keeping myself very out of touch with social media right now to avoid spoilers, so I don't know if people love Endwalker or if people are feeling like I do, feeling like this is too heavy-handed and that this is ruining too much of the established story. How did it come to this? Is this the reason we traveled to the stars? Why we sought out other life forms? Is this it? Is this the answer? No, it cannot be. It cannot be. It's just... it's so much, and it makes the entire rest of the plot feel so little. And it's frustrating. But maybe everyone loves Endwalker. Maybe I'm the only one who's feeling this way. Compiling report for dissemination to Hermes and all people of Aetherius. Processing expedition data, preparing profiles on intelligent civilizations, formulating answers to the questions, finalizing report. No, Mana, you mustn't listen. It's wrong. It's all wrong. Any signs of Medion? Panicked and confused, which will make it all the more difficult to predict her movements. Hermes, what do you make of this situation? The Mediae are linked to a single mind, a shared consciousness which connects them across any distance. I suspect something has happened which disrupted its usual harmony. How might we access this shared conscience of theirs? Through a dungeon, perhaps? Much as you would approach any sentient being directly. In the Mediae's case, it means speaking to any incarnation within physical reach. So unless we can track down the Medion we just lost, we have no means to communicate with them. No way of knowing what befell her sisters, no way to provide directions or guidance. Then we had best set our musings aside and concentrate on how we might find her. A frantic search will avail us little. We must be clever about this. Tis a shame there is no registered concept we could use to create another Medion, assuming, of course, we could link her to the shared mind, but no. If it were a viable solution, Hermes would have surely suggested it. In the final days, Ether is twisted by the invasion of Dynamis from beyond the star, its progress intensified by feelings of fear and despair and anguish. Nay, I like not the picture which emerges with these latest pieces. Oh, my dear Medion, what did you witness out there that frightened you so? Why do you seek to keep it from us? How terrible could it possibly be? My apologies. We should focus on the task at hand. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Medion renders herself invisible by matching her etheric destiny to that of her surroundings, does she not? If so, could we not then disrupt her concealment with a surfeit of ether? Much how Emmet Silk solidified your presence when we first met you. Don't be absurd. I can hardly channel ether to a recipient whose whereabouts are hidden from me. Which is why we must all work together. Mana will continue the search in the same manner as before, but this time with you in tow. Once she ascertains Medion's likely location, you proceed to reveal our wayward familiar with a swift ethereal downpour. Very clever, and thankfully she has made herself easier to capture by fleeing towards Elise. Assuming she is made visible, it should prove no great feat to herd her into a corner. Then we have our plan. Mana and Emmet Silk will be our tracker and trapper respectively, while we others predict and obstruct Medion's avenues of escape. Emmet Silk and I will keep an eye on each other's ether to help coordinate our efforts. Let us be about it. Well, it seems we are partners for the time being. Let us return to where we last saw Medion and pick up the trail from there. I will keep myself in a state of preparedness, ready to rain down ether at a moment's notice, meaning it falls to you to keep the way clear. Hey, Emmet Silk is following you. Yay! There you be. There you be. Mr. Kingdom Heart Emmet Silk. Following me, what an honor. You calm your mind. Why can't I fly? Are my functions being restricted? Hide, yes. I'll just have to hide. Then, where no one can find me. She went into the lake? As if this wasn't tiresome enough. Well, at least that open expanse should make her easier to find. We won't lose her this time. Not here. I'm not here. Please. By that rock is she very well. What? Why can't I hide? There's no need to run. Just give me the alien plot twist or whatever. Anna, what are you saying? Everything is so faint. I'm sorry. I'm not strong enough. Stay away, I'm begging you. Don't make me say it. It will break him, his poor, fragile heart. Now we have a chance. Once the others are in position, the two of us can herd her into the midst. Into their midst. Is this teleporter not in use? It seems to have been left to the mercy of the elements. Either way, it bears no trace of Medion's essence. We move on. Thank you. There, I see her. Thanks, Emmett.
Aha! Give chase. We shall herd her into the shelter. Please, Mission. We must speak.
I'm sorry, Hermes. I'm so sorry. If someone can hear these words, then please... Please protect them. Protect them all. Individual self-suspended. Connection with shared consciousness stable. Our survey is complete. We shall now report our findings. All units safely arrived at their respective destinations. Seeking answers to Hermes' question, we attempted to make contact with the intelligent denizens of each star. Results are as follows, in order of numerical code. Enna. Traces of civilization found. Structures believed to have served as domiciles. No extant life forms detected. Dio. Ruined remnants of buildings scattered across star, surface of which is encased in ice. Presence of life could not be verified. Tria. Evidence of large population centers, akin to cities, recovered. No extant life forms found, only their lingering essence. Tessera. Edifices surmised to be abandoned residences found. No extant life forms detected. Deadly plague or extreme environmental degradation likely to have led to mass extinction.
They are all dead.
Octo. Star found in state of violent conflict. Contact successfully made with inhabitants, but deployment of weapons of mass destruction resulted in total annihilation of local population shortly thereafter. Inea. Star is a barren desert. No identifiable flora found. Bones of living beings resembling men discovered beneath sands, but determination regarding their intelligence inconclusive.
Remind me, Hermes, what exactly was the question you entrusted to Meteion?
I tasked her with asking what others live for. What gives their lives meaning.
Did you consider what may happen if the premise of the question is flawed? To be able to answer it, one must be living and desire to continue doing so. But if Meteion finds no living beings in the course of her journey, or none who desire to live, what then? What answers would she derive from their silence?
Meteion, enough! Suspend your mission and return hither at once.
Decapente. Local civilization once flourished under auspices of higher power. Said power later laid waste to civilization in fit of rage. Upon revealing this to me, entity elected to self-terminate in lieu of providing answer to question. No other intelligent life forms found.
Turning a deaf ear, are we? We are taking Meteion back to Amarot. As I understand, we will need her if we are to bring back all of her sisters.
Yes. Meteion. It isn't right, is it? It isn't right to turn away from the answer. Even if the answer is pain. Even if we aberrations must scream ourselves hoarse to be heard. Aye. Whatever answers we find, I will not dismiss them out of hand. These words I said to you, and I will hold myself to them.
What is the meaning of this?
You cannot take Meteion, not until she has finished her report. All else must wait.
You fool!
Are these three gonna be my trust party? Because that would be kind of fun. I wonder what their jobs would be. I'd be interested to see that. If all Hermes means to do is listen to Medion's report, then it is his right to do so. Once he receives the answers to his question, what then? The fate of the world may very well hinge upon the choice he makes in that moment, and we must be there when he makes it. Why, Hermes? Why could you not leave well enough alone? Will these answers assuage the pain you feel when a creation is returned to ether? Had you never cast your accursed question to the distant stars, you may have one day learned to be at peace upon this one. Do you understand why Hermes would do this? His logic escapes me entirely. Hermes is headed to Cutissus. Considering the expansive dimensions of the place, even we may have a difficult time locating his ether. All I can say is that he entered from the rooftop and likely arrived at the uppermost part in the facility. So, do we pursue him? Of course we pursue him. No matter what Hermes might be thinking, Medion is a potential threat that needs to be brought under our control. The Complications' duty is to safeguard the star takes precedence over any personal stake in the matter. Vana, Mana? It is clear we stand on the precipice, but we have yet to determine beyond a shadow of a doubt that Medion is the hand which tips us over the edge. Nevertheless, if we are to learn the truth of the final days, we must give chase, and even if neither Hermes nor Medion is ultimately responsible, we cannot leave them to suffer this torment alone. Agreed on all counts, to Cutissus Hyperborea we go, which is the dungeon name, and I'm never gonna learn how to say it right.